If you don't send anything over before the end of the inspection period, you just lost your chance to ask for anything.
Hey everybody, Jamie with Self-Proof 1% here with another term of the week, joined by Dave Barlow, head broker, Mike Hopper, and my brother Jason. And Jason will be giving us a lowdown on the term this week. Jay, what do you got for us?
Hello, everybody. I'm on 270 South, so if it's hard to hear me, I apologize. Term of the week is request to remedy period. The request to remedy in different parts of the country is going to be called different things. Okay, it's the post-inspection period. So after you do a home inspection, there is a period of time where you can now ask the seller to make repairs or give a credit so you can make the repairs as a result of your home inspection. Last couple of years, when the market was just red hot, and to an extent today, it's still happening, remedy periods were being waived by buyers who were going to buy the house as is. But as someone who practices real estate fairly frequently, I learned pretty quickly that it's all smoke and mirrors, and the buyers are still going to ask you to fix things, and no one honors what they say they're going to do. So, don't get sucked into the as-is deals. But the remedy period, I find, an interesting term of the week, and it seems fairly straightforward, but there are some nuances where you can find ways to win and take advantage, whether you're a buyer or a seller. The way it's structured in the Columbus Board of Realtor contract, you have an inspection period, which we'll say is 10 days. And then you have a remedy period, which is separate from the inspection, but begins at the end of the inspection period. So let's say the remedy period is 5 days. So we got a 10-day inspection period and a 5-day remedy period. The first thing to point out is the time periods run just the way I described, no matter when you turn in your request to the seller. And so if you do a home inspection on, let's say, day 5 of 10, and you turn in the request to remedy on day 6 of 10, the remedy period doesn't start until the inspection period ends on day 10. So you've given yourself some extra time here to be able to come to a resolution. If no agreement is reached by the time the remedy period ends, so you get to day 15 in this example, and no agreement is reached, the contract is going to automatically terminate unless the buyer rescinds their request for remedy. And so I've had multiple deals in my career where I have more than one offer on the house. Buyer does a home inspection. They send over a request to remedy, and we have an offer behind them, let's say for the same amount of money. Sometimes it's been for more money. Offer came in after we're already in contract for $5,000 more. And so now what we'll do as a seller, in order to kind of gain this and work the strategy properly and use a contract to your advantage as the seller, I'll go to buyer number 2 and say, hey, here's a copy of that inspection. Here's a copy of their request to remedy. Would you guys ask for the same stuff, or would you buy it as is? And then 9 times out of 10, they'll say, oh, we'll buy it as is. We want the house so bad. We're backup offer. Thank you for the opportunity. And then the 1 out of 10 times, I'll negotiate with that backup offer on what they want. Then I'll turn around and go back to buyer number 1 and say, hey, or maybe I don't say anything at all, but I'll go back to buyer number 1 and say, hey, I got a backup offer. They've seen your request to remedy. They've seen your home inspection. They're going to buy it as is. So seller's not going to do anything. You can rescind your request to remedy and buy it as is, or we'll move on to the backup offer. And then let's say, like I said before, let's say that offer I have is for more money. Well, then I just won't say anything at all to the buyer. I'll wait till midnight on day 15. I'll double check everything the morning of day 16 and make sure they didn't resend anything, or send me I did check the fax machine at the office the one time, once every 5 years. I had to go check a fax machine and make sure that rescission didn't come through. And then I get to call the buyer agent and say, hey, you didn't rescind. Our contract terminated. and I got a buyer for $5,000 more right behind you who's going to buy it as is. So I'm sorry to tell you, but you're out. I've worked that maneuver 5, 6, 7 times in my career. So it doesn't happen very often. You're talking about, selling, thousands of homes. But, one time it was a broker. And, she's like, what do you mean the contract's terminated? It's like, go read the contract. I mean, most agents, like I said, even the brokers, they don't understand the mechanics of this because it doesn't happen all that frequently. So as a seller, that's how you can play this. As the buyer, I've had several times in my career where it's like, hey, we're not going to come to an agreement. And so I'll send over, the rescission of the remedy, or, we'll go ahead and let the contract terminate and then put it back together afterwards. But, there's ways as the seller agent to gain this system. And then on the buyer side, you better make sure that you are within your time frames. I've had agents that don't understand the remedy period. They think the remedy period starts automatically when the inspection period starts. No, you got to send a remedy. If you don't send anything over before the end of the inspection period, you just lost your chance to ask for anything. And so I know that me and Dad, the way we practice is, we'll go to our seller and tell them, hey, their agent's a knucklehead, they screwed this up. It was an honest mistake. Treat people how you want to be treated. And as long as the buyer's request is reasonable, we can work through it. But if the buyer sends over some crazy request, like, you have no right to ask. You miss your time periods. And so again, something that's very simple, it's fairly nuanced, and it's something that we deal with every single day in our practice of real estate. And it's amazing how many agents, that they don't understand it, they get it wrong. And I'm not trying to dog all the other agents who are charging 3 times my rate to do the same exact job I do. But, it's important that you as a buyer understand how this works, that you read the contract, that you get it, and that you're not going to depend on, whoever's representing you to get how this works. It's going to tell you 20 years of experience. This is the number one thing that new agents mess up. And it's the number one thing that experienced agents just have a mental fart about and forget how it works. And it's one of the reasons why, whether you're buying or selling, you want to call us at Sell for 1% and hook up with an expert that understands how our contract moves and operates and how to position you so that you don't lose. And that's, the main message is, if you have any questions about, even if you're already hooked up and, you're seeing this video, you're in the middle of a deal and you're not sure what in the hell is going on, call me. I'll help you for free. Call me. I'll give you my advice. And the only thing that we ask in return is that next time you buy or sell, you remember about the guys at 1% who treat you fairly, who are knowledgeable, who are experts in the field, and don't charge an arm and a leg in commission, to represent you and to do the right thing. My number is in the description below. You can reach out to anybody on the team, like and subscribe to the channel so you can see future updates. And then let your friends know, let your family know you're thinking about selling a house. There's these cats in town, Sell for 1%. They're the experts and they're priced fairly. And so we'll treat you right. You have any questions, call us. And then we just ask for a fair shake in return so you can see what we're all about. That's it for this week's Term of the Week. Appreciate you guys. And stay curious, Columbo. We'll see you next week.
And we're all glad you got home safely.
Yes.